Well, hello there. Once again, this is Pastor J.D. Hatfield of the Riverside Christian Fellowship in Orlando, Florida. As always, you can find us on the web at voiceofvision.org or riversidechristianfellowship.com. 1 Peter 3:4 says, "Let your adorning be the hidden person of the heart, with the imperishable beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which in God's sight is very precious." As we all know, physical beauty changes over time. And yet, as my wife and I get older, she gets even more beautiful to me. How, you ask? It's because I see more and more of what God calls beautiful in His eyes. To show you what God sees as beautiful, Peter offers a contrast. In verse 3, he says, "Do not let your adorning be external, the braiding of hair and the putting on of gold jewelry or the clothing you wear." This is not saying that you aren't allowed to braid your hair or wear gold jewelry. Otherwise, it would mean that you can't wear clothes either. No, Peter isn't saying that. The Bible isn't teaching that. This is saying that when it comes to true beauty, as God sees it, external things aren't as important as internal things. It's not necessarily wrong for you to make yourself up, as long as it doesn't become your main focus. It isn't a sin to be pretty. It isn't a sin to dress up, but most people are focused on the externals. So lots of people are going to appreciate them and be attracted by them. As soon as you look all made up, people will notice. But those inner things are not as obvious. Less people will notice them because less people are looking for them. And less people have eyes that can truly see them. The truly beautiful in God's eyes are attracted to those who are truly beautiful in God's eyes. You hear people ask, "God, who do you want me to marry?" Well, it starts right here. You have a lot of liberty in choosing your partner. But if you want God's opinion on where to start looking, here it is. Get your eyes on God's prize. Now, the Greek word translated as adorning in verse 3 is cosmos, which you've probably heard as cosmos. It's also translated as world, like John 3:16, "For God so loved the world," the cosmos. The point I'm making is, don't let your world be all about externals. True, godly beauty from the inside, flowing on the outside. This is what will magnify you in the eyes of those who can truly see beauty as God sees it. What God says is imperishable beauty is more beautiful than what we label hotness. Think about it this way. The hotter something is, the more meltdowns you have. What good is a hottie when they're just a hot mess? So, what does a gentle and quiet spirit mean? It means someone who's not coarse and loud. It means someone who's humble and peaceful. Gentleness doesn't mean acting weak. It means your strength is under control. Quiet doesn't mean you never speak up. It means you know the role of submission as God sees it. In other words, you're a supportive person, not an obnoxious person. The hidden person of the heart means the inner life. But it comes out in how a person lives their life, how they act, how they react, and relate to other people. Someone with eyes to see as God sees will see that gentle and quiet spirit, that humble demeanor, that peaceful attitude as a beautiful adorning, and see you having an imperishable beauty that God sees as precious. Hotness will melt away. But what God calls beautiful is imperishable. In other words, it will not melt away, but it will burn like no other fire can. If you're not married, put this into practice now. Find the right fire in the first place. Ask the Lord to help you see attractiveness as He sees attractiveness. And then start the fire. You can make yourself attractive to the right person by becoming one yourself. Now, if you're already married, focus on your inner person and not simply on the outer person. And focusing on your spouse's inner person will help you see them and show them that they're not just a body, they are a soul. If you are married, get yourself focused on becoming what you want your spouse to be. Let me say that again. There's your marriage counseling. If you're married, get yourself focused on becoming what you want your spouse to be. And you should want your spouse to be like Peter describes here in this passage. Bottom line, you attract the right person by becoming the right person. And you stay attractive by staying focused on what God says is attractive. And you help someone become more attractive when you model attractiveness. You can be beautiful all the days of your life, just like my wife. Get your eyes on God's prize. Well, I think we're going to wind up making a sermon out of that one, adding a little bit to it because it applies to men as well as people that aren't married and looking for marriage, or even if you're not married and you never even think you're going to be married, but you want to be beautiful the way God says it. Well, until next time, we'll see you here, there, or in the air. God bless you.